Coming up on Valley News Live at 6, we begin with breaking news as crews are on the scene of a fire in Moorhead.
Plus, in court today, a family has sharp words for one of the people accused in Destiny Avery's murder.
And a funeral disrupted over the weekend, and now a woman faces charges. Valley News Live at 6 starts right now.
This is Valley News Live at 6.
We have breaking news at the top of the hour. Fire and emergency crews are at the scene of a fire in Moorhead. There's been talk of an explosion, although authorities tell us they do not believe the fire started from any blast.
Now, the address listed is 1700 3rd Avenue South in Moorhead. That'd be north and east of the MSUM campus. The call came in as a structure fire. The address is in an area where there are several mobile homes. We'll provide you with any updates as we get them.
You had multiple options to do the right thing, but instead you decided to do the wrong thing many, many times.
Emotional words today from the family of a 19-year-old murdered and dismembered Moorhead teenager, finally addressing one of the 3 suspects accused of covering up the killing for more than 2 weeks.
The 27-year-old did plead guilty in aiding an offender in second-degree murder with Clay County judge today, stating that Andrea Payne would get out of jail and ordered her to pay a $1,000 fine and up to 5 years of supervised probation. Valley News Team's crime and safety reporter Bailey Hurley was in the courtroom this morning and spoke with Destiny's family today, who say while they are upset, they're a step closer to closure.
My sister told me on many occasions I didn't need to worry about her or her safety because you would never let anything bad happen to her. You let more than bad happen to her.
Sharp words delivered via Zoom Monday morning from a grieving family to a young woman who they say thought of 19-year-old Destiny Avery as her own sister.
I will never be able to see or hear Destiny's face or voice again because of you.
A woman who has since admitted and is now convicted of not only helping cover up the teen's gruesome murder, but was also just down the hall when it happened, hearing and choosing to walk away from Destiny's final moments.
You sat on a couch and listened to a monster take my sister, Destiny's life.
I trusted you, had faith in you, and wholeheartedly believed in you, just to find out you were involved the whole time.
I'm sorry. If I could go back to that day, I wish I could change it. I feel horrible, and I do take full responsibility for it.
Destiny's family tells me they don't believe Payne's apology and say knowing she'll get to go home tonight while Destiny is 6 feet under is the hardest pill to swallow. But they know Andrea Payne will have to live with her guilt forever and say they can only hope that inspires change and better choices going forward. In Moorhead, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
Both 34-year-old Brandon Erbstosser and 22-year-old David Erno are also charged for helping cover up Avery's murder. Both are set to be in court next Monday. Meanwhile, 27-year-old Ethan Broad, who's accused of killing, dismembering, and throwing Avery's body in the trash, won't be seen again in court until the end of the month.
A big drop in temperatures today compared to the weekend. We'll be asking Hutch when those 80s will return. But first, let's find out about tonight. Hutch?
Andrea, thanks so much. Good evening, everyone. Temperatures noticeably cooler. In fact, more than 20 degrees colder than yesterday at this time after a stunningly beautiful weekend of weather. Things are changing, and they're going to stick around for some time. Here's a look at those winds, still gusting over 30 miles per hour in Fargo and the Southern Valley, quieting down just a little bit up north as the strongest of the winds shift southward. Mid-40s along the international border, mid-50s to the south as it's cool this evening with fast-passing clouds. The radar showing a few green blips just near Winnipeg. I can't rule out a sprinkle up north as we look in on the Grand Forks location. Those clouds rapidly moving across the sky. 30s by bedtime tonight. It looks very chilly as we go through the overnight hours in both Fargo and Grand Forks. In fact, some of us will be freezing, and in fact, snow is a word I will use in my forecast here in just a few moments. We'll have details on hour by hour style about what you can expect the rest of the work week. Andrea, back to you.
Okay, thanks, Hutch.
All right, we're going to go back to the breaking news we talked about at the top of the hour. We have a crew on the scene of the fire in Moorhead. So Valley News Team's Nishay Taylor joins us live with updates here. Nishay, what can you tell us?
Yeah, Mike, as you can see behind me, you can see that the trailer has been completely burned. What we know so far is that authorities were called to this trailer park for suspicion of an explosion. Currently, they're still investigating whether or not that's true. At the time, they say one resident was inside the trailer at the time. The resident attempted to try and put out the fire before calling authorities, but eventually fire departments came through and put the fire out. Authorities also say they do not believe there were any injuries, and the one individual that was in the house was the only person there. So they're saying that details are still being looked at, and we'll have much more to come as those details become available.
That's Nishay Taylor reporting live from Moorhead. Family members and Fargo police are asking for your help in finding a missing person. 30-year-old Jessica Hauser has not been heard from since last Thursday, April 29th. She was last seen in Fargo. She's a white female who's 4 feet 11 inches tall, a thin build with brown eyes and brown hair. If you have any information, call 701-451-7660.
2 of the men shot at a downtown Fargo bar in February have been charged with assault. Brandon Grant faces several charges after allegedly opening fire at the Bismarck Tavern on February 21st. The fight started after Willie Carl Jr. approached Grant with a phone and began punching him several times. He and another man, Tommy Trent, are each charged with conspiracy to commit simple assault.
A woman is facing charges after allegedly crashing her ex-boyfriend's funeral, running over grave sites and trying to hit people with her car. Fargo police were called to Riverside Cemetery on Saturday after a disturbance was reported. When police spoke to the father of the deceased, he said the woman wasn't welcome. Another family member said the suspect accelerated her car toward him so quickly that he had to jump out of the way. 28-year-old Blair Witten of Barnesville has been charged with 1 count of reckless endangerment.
A woman is behind bars after police say she threw a knife and threatened to kill 2 people during an argument at a Fargo apartment complex. Aaron Sunby is facing 2 counts of terrorizing and attempted aggravated assault. A man called police on Saturday saying Sunby was yelling, swearing, and threatening to kill him. She also allegedly threw a drink on a woman and punched her. Later, police say Sunby came out of an apartment with a large knife and threw it at a man. When interviewed by police, Sunby was reportedly uncooperative and said it was just a verbal argument. She was previously charged and sentenced to 4 months in jail for her role in a fight at a Moorhead apartment building that led to the death of a 33-year-old man.
Jamestown police are looking for a person of interest in a stabbing. The incident happened at 7:30 yesterday morning at Sunnyside Trailer Court. Investigators say a man broke into a trailer and stabbed a man who was sleeping there. The victim was treated and then released from the hospital. Police are now looking for Timothy Allen Ost. He's described as white, about 5 feet 9 inches tall, 170 pounds, and has grayish brown hair. He rides a black bicycle. If you see him, you're asked to call police. The number of Minnesotans who died from drug overdoses rose sharply in 2020. According to the state, more than 1,000 people died from drug overdoses statewide in 2020, compared to nearly 800 in 2019. That's a 27% increase. Health experts are cautioning that these statistics are based on preliminary numbers for 2020, so there's a chance that the actual number of deaths will be higher as more reports come in from medical examiners.
Sanford Health will begin offering COVID-19 vaccines at some primary care clinics this month. It'll be offered at the following locations on your screen starting this month. Vaccines will be offered to patients during their regularly scheduled primary care appointments. Patients can also call these clinics to schedule an appointment or walk in during clinic hours. Sanford is still offering the vaccine at the former Gordman's building.
Up in Grand Forks, UND students, faculty, and staff will have a chance to get a COVID shot during a 2-day vaccine clinic. The first day is Wednesday from 10 to 2 in the afternoon. Pfizer vaccine will be available. The second day is Friday with Johnson & Johnson vaccine available. To schedule an appointment, faculty and staff should call 701-777-4500. Students should log into the SHS portal. Enter through the south doors of McCannell Hall. If you're looking for options to get a COVID vaccine shot, use our VNL vaccine tracker. It's on the homepage of our website. Or you can open your phone camera and point it to the QR code on your screen. Then tap the link that pops up.
Later on Valley News Live at 6, it's a sure sign that spring has sprung as cleanup week gets underway.
not far from 90 on Saturday, and Sunday we capped off a gorgeous weekend with temperatures in the 70s for many. Much cooler today and windy as well. And this week isn't done with the cool weather. I'll have details on what you can expect coming up right after this.